Hey friends, Kevin Goehring here, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender here with this week's weekly real estate report. Well, if you haven't heard, rates are on the move. Fed chairman last night raised the Fed's fund rate target by 0.5 of a point, half of a point. So let's talk about rates in just a little bit. But for right now, let's go take a look at the chart and see what that is doing. All right, let's start down here with our inventory that continues its climb upward. That is exciting news for buyers, not so exciting news for sellers because there is more competition out there for your home. And for buyers, that means they have more to choose from. So fantastic news for some, not so good news for others. But look at the pending sales. It has been going down since right about the beginning, middle of March right there. That is not normal. If we go back in time, back in history, we should see this climbing till about the end of May. So we can say end of May, it should climb, then level off, and then start march back down near the end of summer, middle of summer, end of summer. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a lot of people backing off right now. And my opinion on that is that with the economic news, with rates going up so high, so fast, I think a lot of buyers are actually starting to take a let's wait and see what's going on. Now, many of them have just been priced out of the market with home prices staying high and their payment going up because of rates. So I think a lot of people are now taking a wait and see. Well, a wait and see means they've backed out of the market. There are less people out there shopping, and you can see that right there by the pending sales. So let's take a look at what's happening with home prices. So we're going to look right here at the gold or yellow line. We can see that this week it was reported that the median sales price, or closed price, I should say, did go up. Now, there's a lot of speculation here that as soon as rates started to go up and it became obvious the Fed was going to continue to raise rates for quite some time and we were going to probably looking at 6 to 7% for mortgage rates, a lot of people went out there, pulled the trigger, bought something, threw the money down, said, look, we got to get in now before rates get out of control. So that caused a bit of a peak in home prices. But if we look at the median list price, what people are out there listing for, it is absolutely stagnant. It is right there at about, what's my number here? 650,000. So actually this week it's 649, last week is 650, week before that 649. So it is really just holding still. And I think we're going to see that start to come down. So big news. And I don't have it on this chart, but this really tells a lot. When I look at how many homes this week had a price reduction. Remember last week it was 777. I said, man, that's a lot. This week it's 913 so far. So 913 homes this week out of only 3,000 homes had a price reduction. So that means these homes are sitting on the market longer. Sellers are starting to get nervous. People aren't showing up. They've got to get a little more realistic and start dropping that price. So there's a correction right there. All right, on to rates. So Freddie Mac is reporting that this past week that the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage went from 5.1 to 5.27. Last week, that was with 0.8 of a point up front, which I told you was more than I've seen in a long time. This week, they're reporting that it went to 0.9, almost 1 point up front in fees to get that 5.27 rate. I had to go to Freddie Mac's website and scroll all the way back to 2001, which doesn't sound like it's that long ago, but 21 years ago before I saw a 0.9 of a point in fees up front. So what that means is borrowers are paying more and more money up front to get a slightly better rate. Now, make sure if you're out there and you're doing this, don't be so rate focused that you pay a lot of fees. In fact, I got something in the mail last week advertising like a 3.5% rate. I thought, man, this is way too good to be true. So I actually had to flip it over, read through some very fine print. And in there, it was something like 2.5 or 3 points up front. Points can be good. Points can be bad. That's where you need to talk to your loan officer and say, show me what it is with points, without, where's my break-even point, see what makes sense. Say, don't be rate focused. So Fed funds rate, it went up. So does that necessarily mean that your mortgage rate will go up? Does the Fed control mortgage rates? And I say, as I always say, the answer is no. The Fed, the government, does not control mortgage interest rates. They changed the Fed's fund rate, which is the rate that banks charge each other overnight. Have to have a certain amount in reserve, so if they don't have that, they have to borrow from another bank. The Fed funds rate is what they're supposed to charge each other, banks, to borrow money overnight. However, when that fee goes up to banks, then the banks raise what we call the prime rate. So we have the prime rate goes up. When the prime rate goes up, that's almost always what your home equity line of credit, credit cards, and other adjustable mortgage or adjustable loans are focused in on, or tied to, I should say. And so that rate goes up. So then consequently, all the things I just mentioned, your home equity line of credit rate just went up, your credit cards, any adjustable rate mortgage that's tied to prime or other indexes also went up. But the Fed does not directly control mortgage rates. It just happens to be that's the way it works. If banks have to pay more for money, then they're going to charge you more for money. So hopefully that made a little bit of sense there. That is the news that I have for this week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you here next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.